You know that feeling when your phone serves you an ad for something you were just thinking about? Or when you realize you can't focus on a book for more than a few minutes? We all feel it, right? But what's really going on inside our heads? Well, today we're going to unpack the invisible but totally profound ways our digital lives are literally rewiring our brains.
So let's just cut right to the chase with the big question. Is your phone actually physically changing your brain? The short answer, yes, absolutely. And the science behind how it's happening tells a story that's way more complex and, frankly, a lot more startling than most of us think.
Researchers have this really powerful term for what's happening, a cognitive prosthesis. Now, what does that mean? It means our devices aren't just tools we pick up and put down anymore. Nope. They've become these inseparable extensions of our own minds, actively changing how we remember, how we pay attention, and even how we see ourselves. We are literally merging with our tech.
So, what's the cost of this merger? What's the hidden price we're paying for all this convenience? Let's start by looking at the impact on our own internal hardware, the brain itself.
It all begins with something called cognitive offloading. Just think about it for a second. When was the last time you actually memorized a new phone number or directions to a new restaurant? We don't have to anymore, right? We just outsource those mental jobs to our devices. And while it's super efficient, it means our own brains don't have to do the heavy lifting anymore.
And that leads directly to this, something called digital amnesia. See, our brains are smart, but also kind of lazy. They know that almost any piece of information is just a quick Google search away, so why bother committing it to long-term memory? We are, in effect, training our minds to forget because we know our digital second brain will remember everything for us.
And what's really wild is that you can literally see these changes on a brain scan. Neuroimaging studies of college students who log a lot of screen time show weaker performance on memory tasks. We can actually see less activation in their prefrontal cortex. That's the CEO of the brain, responsible for complex thought. Their neural networks, they're less dense and more disorganized. It's a physical change. And if you think that's bad, this rewiring process is starting terrifyingly early. I mean, the data on preschoolers is just shocking. Look at the uncinate fasciculus. It's this part of the brain that's crucial for integrating our emotions. High screen time is linked to a 55% drop in its structural integrity. We are seeing physical degradation in the parts of the brain that handle language, emotional control, and basic decision-making in toddlers.
So, all this internal rewiring, it has massive external consequences, especially when it comes to how we connect with each other. We're seeing what some experts are calling a growing empathy deficit.
Ever wonder why people can be so unbelievably cruel online? The virtual disengagement hypothesis gives us a pretty clear neurological answer. In the real world, empathy gets triggered by all these social cues, facial expressions, tone of voice, body language. Online, especially in a text-based comment section, all of that is gone. And as a result, the empathy circuits in our brain, they just don't light up. We're disconnected from the real emotional impact of our own words.
And the real-world fallout from this is stark. I mean, just look at this chart. It's from a huge 4-year study of thousands of teenagers. And the relationship is clear, it's undeniable. As the hours per day on social media go up, so do depressive symptoms. It's a direct one-to-one relationship. And in the most extreme cases, the consequences are just devastating. Get this, teenage girls who spend more than 5 hours a day on social media have a 66% higher risk of suicide-related outcomes. That includes everything from planning to actual attempts, compared to girls who use it for just 1 hour. 66%!
Okay, so here's a really crucial point. None of this is happening by accident. Our digital world is not a neutral space. It is an architecture, a system, and it is specifically designed to manipulate our attention and our behavior. Think about it this way. User experience design is on a spectrum. On one end, you have positive design. It uses psychology to help you, to make an app intuitive and satisfying. But on the other end, you have dark patterns. And this is basically the weaponization of psychology. It uses everything science knows about your brain's weaknesses to trick you into doing things you probably don't want to do.
And here's exactly how they do it. They exploit our built-in mental glitches. They use our natural fear of losing things, loss aversion, to keep us from canceling a subscription. Or they use confirm shaming. You've seen this. Those little messages designed to make you feel guilty for saying no, like, no thanks, I prefer to waste money. These tricks are designed to bypass our rational brain and get us to click on things that help the platform's bottom line, not our own. This manipulation is so good, so effective, that it's creating something new, the algorithmic self. Think about Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year.
We look at these algorithmic summaries of our lives and we see them as this deep reflection of who we are. It creates this eerie feeling that maybe the platform actually does know us better than we know ourselves. Our very sense of self is being co-created by code.
Now, I know this all sounds pretty bleak, but it is not a lost cause, not at all. We actually have the power to push back. So let's talk about some specific, actionable things we can do to reclaim our minds and our attention. One of the most powerful ideas out there is something called digital minimalism. And this is not just about doing a digital detox for a weekend. It's a complete shift in your philosophy. It means you get really ruthless and intentional. You only use tech for a small number of things that bring huge value to your life, and you learn to happily ignore all the other noise.
And a really practical way to start is with the 30-day digital declutter. It's simple. Step 1, for 30 days, you take a break from all the non-essential tech in your life. This is key because it lets your brain's overstimulated dopamine system finally reset. Step 2, during that month, you actively rediscover the analog world, real hobbies, face-to-face hangouts. And then finally, step 3, you slowly reintroduce tech, but this time very intentionally, asking of each app, does this really support what I value?
Beyond that, maybe the single most vital skill for surviving in the 21st century is algorithmic literacy. Think of this as your mental self-defense. It's the ability to step back in the moment and ask yourself critical questions. How is this algorithm trying to shape what I see? How is it trying to make me feel right now? How is it influencing my idea of who I am?
And really, this all brings us to the final and most important question. In an age where our thoughts, our emotions, and even our identity are constantly being shaped by these powerful outside forces, you have to ask yourself, who is the architect of your mind? Is it you, or is it the algorithm? The choice, for now, is still ours to make.